Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm really glad you're with us today. We're taking a unique look, pulling back the curtain on local law enforcement. This is Behind the Blotter with the Peshtigo Times. And just a quick note for maybe newer listeners, that's P-E-S-H-T-I-G-O. We say Peshtigo.
That's right.
So our goal here really is to give you a shortcut, a way to get really well informed about, the pulse of community safety right here in Northeast Wisconsin. We've been digging into recent incident summaries. We've got stuff from the Menominee County Sheriff's Office, the Menominee Police Department, and the Marinette Police Department, too. And these aren't like just dry lists. They're kind of raw, unfiltered looks at daily life. The unexpected things, sometimes the really surprising stuff that happens in our communities. We're going to pull out the most important and intriguing bits, talking not just about what went down, but sort of why it matters to you.
Exactly. And these official reports, they are factual, often pretty concise, but when you look at them together, they paint this incredibly vivid picture. You see the complexities of, human nature, the everyday challenges communities face, and also the dedicated work, often unseen work, of local law enforcement.
Yeah.
It's a chance, really, to look critically at the patterns that pop up from these daily logs and get maybe a deeper understanding of things.
Okay, so let's get into it. We're kicking things off with the Menominee County Sheriff's Office. This is their summary from July 17th through July 23rd. And this week, it really showed a wide mix of calls, kind of highlights all the different hats that deputies wear.
It really does.
So on July 17th, the blotter had a couple of, let's say, routine but still important incidents. There was a two-vehicle traffic crash. This was on M35 in Cedarville Township. Basically, a vehicle making a left turn got rear-ended by a semi.
Oof. Semis involved always sounds serious.
Yeah, but thankfully, while both vehicles had functional damage, meaning, drivable but banged up, no injuries were reported. That's the key thing.
Definitely.
Also that day, deputies handled a domestic dispute over on US 41 in Mellon Township. That was investigated and closed.
Right, and those types of calls, traffic incidents, domestic disputes, they are unfortunately very common. It really underscores the need for vigilance on the roads and, the complex social issues law enforcement deals with constantly often needs a delicate touch.
For sure. Also on July 17th, something else happened. Deputies looked into a reported assault involving juveniles. This was on M35 in Menominee Township. Now, what's interesting here is after they investigated thoroughly, these pretty serious allegations, they turned out to be false. So the incident was closed.
That's a significant point. It shows the importance of investigation before conclusions are drawn.
Exactly. It's a reminder of that careful checking they have to do for every single report. Okay, moving to July 19th. This day had some unsettling discoveries. There was a breaking and entering complaint on Oak Street in Meyer Township. That one's actually still under investigation. A caller reported someone had been inside her home.
Yeah, that feeling of invasion, it's profound. It's more than just property. It hits your sense of security hard.
Absolutely. Hope they get some answers there.
Those investigations need meticulous work, not just for recovery, but to, help people feel safe again.
Right. And then also on the 19th, a more unusual one.
Yeah.
A hit and run, but involving a mailbox. This was on US 41 in Menominee Township.
A mailbox. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds kind of minor, right? But deputies actually located the driver, described as erratic, a 78-year-old woman from Howard, Wisconsin. She got cited for failure to report the accident.
Interesting. So even something small like that can point to a bigger issue, like the erratic driving mentioned.
Exactly my thought. Shows how calls connect.
Yeah.
All right, July 22nd. This day brought a big search effort. Deputies, get this, along with canine units and drone units.
Wow, bringing out the tech.
Yeah. They were all dispatched to Meyer Township. A juvenile was missing, had run away, but thankfully there was a good outcome. A passerby spotted the child.
Oh, fantastic.
And a deputy located her shortly after, got her back to her family safely. Huge relief there.
That kind of coordinated response, using canine, drones, deputies, it's so critical when time is of the essence, like with a missing child, shows a really comprehensive approach.
It really does. Okay, also on July 22nd, a traffic stop over on 12th Street in the city of Menominee. This led to an arrest. A 26-year-old Menominee man arrested for driving without security.
So no insurance.
Right, driving without insurance. And on the same day, kind of showing the variety again, a landlord-tenant dispute on CR 563 in Spalding Township. Deputies investigated, documented it as a civil matter.
Another example of them dealing with non-criminal issues, acting almost like mediators sometimes.
Exactly. Okay, wrapping up the sheriff's reports for this period. On July 23rd, another traffic incident, single vehicle crash, M35 in Cedarville Township again. A 69-year-old driver from Lansing, Mary Lee Benson, apparently drifted onto the low shoulder, overcorrected, and hit a tree.
Oh dear. Any injuries?
No injuries reported, thankfully. But the vehicle had disabling damage, couldn't be driven. But maybe the most intriguing story from this week, it involves this case I'm calling the elusive missing person. Also on July 23rd, deputies were sent to check on a man walking along US 41 in Nadeau Township. Now, here's the kicker. They'd apparently encountered this guy multiple times before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and each time he gave them a fake name. But this time, he finally gave his real name. And guess what? He was listed as a missing person.
Wow. That's quite something. Persistence paying off.
Right. So they contacted his family, made arrangements for him to get home.
That incident really does highlight how complex missing persons cases can be, especially if someone's disoriented or maybe actively trying not to be found. The deputy's persistence there across multiple encounters, that was crucial. It really speaks to a challenging side of policing that needs patience and, well, sharp skills beyond just answering the first call.
So when you look at something like that, what does it tell you about maybe the longer game in investigations? Especially when people might be resistant.
Well, it underscores that it's not always about immediate arrests, right? It's often about persistence, like you said, piecing things together over time. And it's about a commitment to someone's welfare, even if they're pushing back initially. It's a really good example of that dedication beyond just enforcing laws.
That does put it in perspective. Really does. All right, let's shift gears now. We're moving to the Menominee Police Department's incident summary. This covers August 1st through August 6th. Another interesting snapshot of city police work.
Okay.
Kicking off the month, August 1st. Officers investigated a vehicle hitting a utility pole. This is at 10th Street and 15th Avenue. Vehicle had functional damage, no injuries. Pretty standard, maybe. Also, they looked into a report about a delivery person getting bitten by a dog. Happened at the 4300 block of 9th Street.
Ouch. Yeah, hazards you don't always think about in certain jobs.
Right. And the day ended with an arrest of a 56-year-old man for having open intoxicants in a vehicle. That was 7th Avenue and 10th Street.
So just that one day shows the sheer range, doesn't it? Accidents, animal calls, public order. It really speaks to the unpredictable nature of what officers walk into every shift.
No kidding. Okay, August 2nd. Lots happening this day, too. A 16-year-old male was arrested for resisting and obstructing police officers. 700 block of 46th Avenue. That can escalate fast.
Definitely a concern when that happens, especially with a juvenile.
Yeah. Officers also took possession of found keys. Twice, actually. One set at 23rd Avenue and 16th Street. Another at 1st Street and 10th Avenue. Someone was having a bad key day.
Seems like it. Small thing, but helpful service.
True. Then a property line dispute at the 1200 block of West Drive. Officers checked it out, determined it was a civil matter.
Back to that civil issue role again.
Yep. And finally, for the second, a 33-year-old male was arrested for violating his bond conditions. 900 block of 16th Avenue. Now, August 3rd, this is where we start seeing some troubling trends, I'd say, particularly involving younger people. Started with a 16-year-old male cited for speeding at 1st Street and 4th Avenue. Minor, maybe. But then a 47-year-old female arrested for trespassing and for resisting and obstructing police. 1400 block of 10th Avenue.
Okay.
But here are the ones that really stood out involving youth. A 17-year-old female arrested for, get this, 8 counts of malicious damage to property.
8 counts, wow.
And for conspiracy. This was at the 2500 block of 10th Street. And just to clarify, that conspiracy charge means she allegedly planned or worked with others on this damage.
That's significant.
And then a 15-year-old male arrested for larceny from a motor vehicle and also for conspiracy. 2100 block of 18th Street.
What really jumps out there is that pattern, youth involvement, multiple serious incidents, and these conspiracy charges popping up. It really makes you wonder, for the community, is this a few individuals causing repeated trouble, or does it hint at maybe a wider group activity?
That's a really important question.
Yeah, because figuring that out is key for targeted intervention and prevention efforts.
Absolutely crucial distinction. Okay, August 4th, things get very serious here with the charges reported by Menominee PD. An 81-year-old male was arrested for criminal sexual contact first degree and also second degree. This is at the 1000 block of 6th Street. Very serious allegations.
Extremely serious.
And also that day, a 44-year-old male arrested for indecent exposure and for being drunk and disorderly.
Yeah.
1400 block of 5th Avenue. Moving into the weekend now, August 5th. An incident involving underage driving that really highlights some major risks.
Yeah.
A 17-year-old male was arrested for OWI operating while intoxicated, also for having no operator's license, and for being a minor in possession of alcohol, first offense.
Wow. All at once.
Yeah, all stemming from one stop at Interstate Bridge and 10th Avenue. Those are heavy charges for a 17-year-old.
Indeed.
A dangerous mix.
Also on the 5th, a 21-year-old female cited for speeding at 10th Street and 48th Avenue. And finally, from Menominee PD, August 6th. This day brought a mix, a somber note, and more arrests. Officers assisted the sheriff's office and other first responders at the scene of a fatal two-vehicle accident. This was on Highway M35 near Willow Road.
Tragic. A tough call for everyone involved.
Definitely a reminder of the dangers out there.
Ugh.
On that same day, that pattern we talked about, conspiracy, it continued. A 22-year-old female arrested for conspiracy at the 2500 block of 13th Street. Also, a 27-year-old male arrested on a misdemeanor warrant from Menominee PD. And officers investigated another two-vehicle accident at 7th Street and 18th Avenue, disabling damage to one car, but no injuries reported there.
Busy day.
Yeah. And to cap it off, an 18-year-old female arrested for buying, receiving, possessing, or concealing stolen property. And, again, conspiracy. 700 block of 46th Avenue.
That conspiracy element keeps showing up across different incidents and age groups in that short period. Very notable.
It really is. Okay, our final batch of reports. Let's cross the river to the Marinette Police Department. This covers August 4th through August 10th.
All right, let's see what was happening in Marinette.
On August 4th and 5th, the Marinette blotter seems to show more sort of routine traffic stuff and public order issues. August 4th, there was an accident on Hall Avenue, vehicles driven by Bonnie Payne and Christian Robinson. No injuries, no citations. Also on the 4th, Jordan Guzzi was cited for possession of THC on Marinette Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Then the next day, August 5th, another traffic accident, this one on Roosevelt Road. Sarah Betzinger and Lisa Spitzer involved. Again, no injuries, no citations reported.
Seems like standard daily road activity there.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, August 6th, saw some more minor vehicle stuff, but also a more serious domestic call. A vehicle driven by Linkus Beal hit a legally parked vehicle on Pierce Avenue. Another collision happened at Roosevelt Road and Old Peshtigo Road between Don Wozniak and Alexander Wallace. Again, no injuries or citations in either.
Okay.
But Ryan L. Barrett was taken into custody. This was for disorderly conduct and battery, following a domestic disturbance on Garfield Avenue.
Right, and for context, disorderly conduct usually means disrupting public peace, while battery involves that unwanted physical contact.
Exactly.
And like we discussed with the sheriff's report, these domestic calls are a significant and often very complex part of law enforcement work, requires careful handling to ensure safety.
No doubt. Okay, August 7th. This day saw some particularly serious violations and also thefts. Brian D. Long was taken into custody at Cleveland Avenue and Marinette Avenue. This was for operating while under the influence, first offense,
Well,
and armed while intoxicated.
armed while intoxicated. That definitely escalates things.
Yeah, the armed part is alarming.
Right.
Significantly raises the risk for officers and, the public.
Absolutely. Big difference.
Also on August 7th, Gregory P. Anderson reported a theft. A 2024 Beartrack aluminum flat deck trailer was stolen from Church Street.
A specific item like that, a 2024 trailer, it often suggests something more targeted, maybe more organized than just a random theft. Could point to a specific demand for that kind of equipment. Makes it a different kind of investigation.
That's a really good point. Didn't think of it quite that way. Okay, August 8th. Seems parked cars were still having bad luck in Marinette. Another accident on Roosevelt Road where a vehicle hit a legally parked car. This one owned by Michaela Parker. No injuries, no citations. Just inconvenient for Michaela, I imagine.
Definitely a headache for the owner.
And finally, let's wrap up the Marinette reports with August 10th. Looks like a busy weekend day. Mark Rames cited for disorderly conduct on Maple Avenue. Garrett Williams also cited for disorderly conduct, this one on Hall Avenue. Kayla R. Burkett cited for OWI, first offense, on Hall Avenue. And Tara L. Hulat, also taken into custody for OWI, first offense, at Marinette Avenue and Mary Street.
2 OWIs just reported on that one day underscores that ongoing issue of impaired driving.
It really does. Also on the 10th, Raymond L. Melendez reported his red Schwinn bike stolen from his home on Merriman Street. And Jennifer Remington was taken into custody on a warrant over on Madison Avenue.
So a real mix, again, public order, impaired driving, theft, warrant service, covers a lot of ground.
It sure does. Well, what an incredible kind of whirlwind tour through these blotters. Menominee County Sheriff, Menominee PD, Marinette PD. I mean, from that persistence in finding the missing person who kept giving a false name
Right.
to that concerning pattern of youth involved in serious stuff like malicious damage and conspiracy, and the clear dangers highlighted by things like that armed OWI. These reports really, they run the gamut, don't they?
They absolutely do.
And when you see them all laid out like this, you get this, well, this profound sense of daily life and the challenges faced in Menominee County and Marinette communities.
Yeah, exactly. These blotter entries, they feel like more than just stats on a page. They're these really vivid glimpses,
Yeah.
into human behavior, community resilience, and also that constant vigilance needed from law enforcement to keep things safe and orderly. We saw the common stuff, right? Traffic incidents, civil disputes, but also the frequency of issues like disorderly conduct, OWIs, and that notable trend with youth and conspiracy charges. It tells you a lot about the everyday fabric of life around here and just the sheer variety of demands on police and deputies.
It certainly does. So as you're thinking about all this stuff we've gone through today, here's something to maybe chew on for you, our listener. How do these daily incidents, these snapshots, shape your perception of safety in your community and the role local law enforcement plays? What patterns jump out at you when you hear these reports laid out? Maybe keep an eye on your own local news, stay informed about what makes up the fabric of your community.
Good question to ponder.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into these official reports. We really appreciate you trusting us to bring you these important, sometimes surprising nuggets of knowledge. Hope it makes you feel a little more plugged in to the world right around you. Until next time, stay curious and join us again for the next deep dive.